Thank you very much, Leader Bridget, for that prayer. And once again, a very, very warm welcome to all the executives of IDF. Today, we are privileged to have creatives and executives from 4 countries in IEDF, creative economy sector. Countries represented here today include Kenya, Zambia, Cameroon, and also Namibia. And also very privileged to also have the country heads here with us, and we're going to be engaging. But before we start, I would like to say I will call any leader here, and you're going to tell us why are you in this meeting today. So I will start with you, Leader Ayetso, because you have your camera on. Tell us, what is your why for attending this meeting today? And you can introduce yourself as I call upon you. Thank you. Unmute your mic, Leader Ayetso.
Sorry, I had forgotten. Thank you so much, Leader Rachel. I'm so grateful to be here with all of you today. Before I continue, I would like to say a big thank you for our leaders who are here. I recognize the leadership of our global president, our global vice president, all protocols observed. Thank you so much. So my name is Sarah Wendia Yitso. I am a filmmaker here in Kenya, an award-winning filmmaker here in Kenya, but I'm also the founder and the president of the Female Filmmakers in Kenya. And recently I was the head of women in the creative sector of IDF. But recently I was selected to also head the sector, the creative sector in Kenya. So I am very grateful. The main reason I am here is to interact with everyone that is here, to learn, and to also just share the very good ideas that we have as creatives on even what we are planning with the Creative Summit. I know most of you are planning to come. So that's one thing. We need to make sure that you understand what it is, why we are planning it, how we are planning it, so that by the time you're coming, you already have everything that you need. If you have questions, if you need some things clarified, this is the time. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Leader Ayitso. I would like to also thank you and also try to manage time, leaders. So I will say that I'll give you 30 seconds each for the person I call to kindly tell us your why for being here today. So the next person I'm going to ask to tell us why they're here today is Leader Iyalo. I hope I got your name right. Leader Iyalo, kindly tell us why you're in this meeting today.
Yes, I'm here. Good evening to everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Yalo Melcher. I work as an administrator within the Namibian film industry. So I work for the Filmmakers Association of Namibia and Monjila Studios. I believe that being here for me means being part of a vast majority of people that want to drive the creative industry in a way that creates opportunities for others, but also just allows us to collaborate as industry players. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you very much, Leader Yalo, for that introduction and a warm welcome to the conference. Next, I'm going to invite Leader Donatas, since he's the only one here representing Cameroon, to tell us his why for today. Leader Donatas, kindly.
Thank you very much, Leader Rachel. Thank you for the opportunity to reconnect again. My name is Donatus Tangam. I'm the Director of Cinema and Audiovisual Productions in Cameroon. I am in this meeting so we can compare notes on the best practices and means and ways of activating and to see how to make our CDCs a little more effective in what they're doing. So at the end of it all, we should be able to achieve our goals. That's why I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you very much, Leader Donatus. We are hoping to hear more from you this evening. And finally, I'm going to nominate someone from Zambia. Let me see if I'm very good at picking names. Leader Albertina, are you from Zambia?
No, I'm from Namibia.
Okay. Maybe Leader Bridget, you can help me pick someone from Zambia, please, to give us a Y4. Thank you. Leader Bridget, maybe you could nominate someone from Zambia. Hamalala? Leader Malala?
Thank you. Good evening, all. My name is Hamalala. I'm a theater for development practitioner here in Zambia. I'm one of the senior theater practitioners. I think I've been in the industry for close to 30 years now. So basically, I'm here to learn more about the program and understand how we can collaborate and build bridges where we have seen that there are only boundaries there, and see how we can empower our communities, collaborate with our communities, work together with our communities, and create jobs and get into wealth creation through the creative sector. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leader Hamalala. Can we all appreciate the great leaders that have shared their why? I'm sure everybody in this room identifies with one of the whys that has been said here today. So, leaders, my name is Rachel Wainaina. They call me Rachel Njeri Wainaina. I'm from Kenya, and I'm the currently or recently appointed sector head for the creative economy sector in Africa. And I'm very excited that you've shown up and come in your numbers for the first conference for the creative economy sector. You're very much welcome. And on behalf of the Informal Economic Development Forum, I warmly welcome you to the IEDF Africa Creative Sector Conference, the first one in 2026. It's truly an honor to open this session today and to stand among leaders who are committed to shaping the future of Africa's creative economy. But today is not just about gathering. Today is about moving to from global alignment to sector execution. As our DP always tells us that we need to execute, we need to continue executing. Across Africa and indeed globally, there is already a recognition of the importance of the creative economy. We see the talent, we see the innovation, we see the cultural power and the influence that creatives hold. But the question we must now answer is this: how do we move from recognition to structure, from potential to productivity, from talent to sustainable enterprise? Because the reality is this: across our continent, the majority of the creatives are operating within the informal economy. In fact, if we were to put numbers to the words that I'm speaking about today, you'll find that more than 80% of the creative economy sector is working informally. The creatives are skilled, they're innovative, and they're resilient, but too many remain unstructured, under-supported, and disconnected from the real economic opportunity. And that is why IEDF exists. The Informal Economy Development Forum was established to bring structure, coordination, and opportunity to the informal economy. And today we are focusing on that mission, on one of the most powerful sectors we have, the creative economy, because we believe in this. And it must be clearly understood that the creative sector is not just art. It is economy, it is identity, and it is opportunity. This has been proven over and over again In Nigeria, for example, the creative economy is the second largest contributor to their GDP. And through unity and structure, Africa creatives can become one of the most powerful economic forces on the continent. We are here to align with the IEDF Vision 2030, Vision 2030. Our work today is anchored in the IEDF Vision 2030, which outlines 13 strategic goals aimed at transforming the informal economy across sectors. Within the creative economy, we are directly aligned with goal number 8 to empower 100,000 creatives across Africa and globally. But let us be very clear, empowerment does not happen through ideas alone. Empowerment requires systems, structures, platforms, and access. It requires us to move from intention to implementation. I'm going to give a case study here because before I stepped into my African role, I was actually the head of creative economy in Kenya. And to demonstrate how this can be done, we've been trying and experimenting with some things. So, for example, in Kenya, as a case study, we have already begun translating this vision of empowering 100,000 creatives by 2030 into action. We've started the execution. We have established a fully operational creative economy development committee, community development, CDC, where we've been able to have more than 45 members. And these 45 members have further formed as other CDCs. We have 13 members in the Kenyan executive led by the chairperson, but we discovered that the creative economy is very big. So the creative economy is very big. It has things like audiovisual sector, it has, literally arts, it has culture and heritage, it has the business element of it. And what we decided is to appoint leaders from 9 sectors to go ahead and form their CDCs. So far, we've mobilized over 45 members in our Kenyan CDC, which our leaders from the executive are actually now going out to form their own CDCs. And this is how we are going to multiply in our numbers to be able to ensure that we bring as many people as possible. I want to give you an example, leaders. For instance, in my Kenyan CDC where I belong, and now I'm in Africa, of course, as the GP already told me. I'm trying to get out of that. We were actually, like, for example, discovering that we have somebody in culture, we have somebody in fashion, we have somebody in literally arts and in other spaces. And with all these people, we were discovering that if we want them to thrive and connect together, they also have to connect closely with the people who are in the field in creative sector, which they're in. And that's the basis in which we are trying to also make sure that we can form more CDCs within the creative economy CDCs. So currently, we are targeting to develop the audiovisual CDC, the music and performing arts CDC, the visual arts and design CDC, literature and storytelling CDC, digital content and media CDC, and cultural heritage and creative tourism and business development CDC in Kenya. And we are not starting, we are already executing. For example, we already have the chairperson of audiovisual, who's Mark Minor. We also have the chairperson of literally arts, who's Jared Getanda. We have all the chairpersons of these other CDCs that we want to have under the creative economy space in Kenya. So we want to take these lessons and we want to go to Namibia, we want to go to Zambia, we want to go to Cameroon, and we all want to build as many CDCs as possible so that we can have a very well-connected and big database of creatives. And that's not our main goal. Our main goal is that when we come together, then we start to do business together and eradicate poverty as the leaders in IEDF. contribute to the global goals. So I hope with that example, you're able to see that how this coming together of creatives can really be beneficial for all of us. And that's why I'm very happy to see you in this conference today. Today, I'm so excited because we have a long journey ahead as the creative economy, but this is the beginning of our unity. Leaders, before I finish, I want to say that the implementation and the execution in the creative sector has been happening. And I want to just give you a quick run through of what we've been doing in the different countries. So I'm also very proud of our leader, Bridget from Zambia, and the Zambia Creative Economy CDC, who are building a platform to connect the creative economy and help them do business together. So may we also appreciate leader Bridget Chibwe for what she's doing in Zambia. We are also having our partners in Cameroon, leader Donna Truss, who has actually secured a 92,000 USD grant to build the creative economy sector in Cameroon. Again, that's an amazing job that is happening with our creative economy sector. And the leaders are going to be talking. And then also we are very happy to welcome our newest country head on board, Leader Vixen, who has done an amazing job, as you've seen already. He's putting together a CDC. His leaders are already completing their master classes. We welcome you, Leader Vixen, and he requested me that today he'll be listening in, but the next conference, he'll be presenting a lot of progress from Namibia. And as we all know, the Met Global Conference will be held in Namibia, and we'll be very happy to visit Leader Vixen and support the Met Global Conference at the creative economy sector. And by the time we come there, Leader Vixen, I'm sure you'll be executing. So we are also onboarding Rwanda, Tanzania, and Uganda. We have strong leaders. We have the festival director of Zanzibar International Festival coming on board in IEDF as a country lead. We also have in Tanzania, that is in Tanzania. In Rwanda, we have also the founder of Mashariki Film Academy and Mashariki International Film Festival and Market, who's going to be joining us, Mr. Treso Senga, and they're all coming from the Creative Kenya Summit. And we also have a great leader from Uganda, who's also going to be joining us, who is a trainer and intellectual, and who is a great mobilizer as well, Mr. Kizito. So we are vetting them, and together with the executive committee, we'll be able to see their strength and see how to bring them on board. And of course, you know, the process in IEDF is supposed to be a process. You're supposed to do the leadership masterclass, and then you're supposed to be onboarded, then you're able to join the creative economy sector. Leaders, we are not starting from zero. We have already engaged through platforms such as Kitale Film Week, delivering masterclasses on formalizing the informal creative economy. We've participated in high-level policy engagements, including the recent hosting that we had with the Kenya Film Commission during the International Women's Day. We have developed strategic partnerships, like in Cameroon, where they have a partnership with UNESCO. In Kenya, we are having a partnership with the US Embassy in Nairobi and Kenya Film Commission, where we're doing the Creative Kenya Summit. We're also building platforms such as Creative Kenya Expo and Creative Africa Biz Awards and Summit. So all these platforms and the platform in Zambia to connect creatives in Africa and all these other platforms that we are building are created to help us connect to global people in creative economy, people in Africa and in other places. So what does this tell us? It tells us that we are no longer discussing possibilities. We are demonstrating implementation. Today's journey, we are following a structured pathway. We will begin with alignment and context setting, grounding us in why we are here. We will then move into leadership, and we are going to look at what other leaders are doing. This will be followed by a sector strategy presentation where we're going to be hearing from some of our executives today on what they're doing in their countries. So I look forward to listening to you leaders today as we plan to collaborate, align to the IEDF Vision 2030, benefit ourselves by building African creative economy, making all stakeholders want to come on board in Africa's creative economy. And as I finish, leaders, I want to leave you with one defining principle. This is not just a conference, it's a call to build a movement. And more importantly, we are not hosting an event, we are building a structure. We are not gathering creatives, we are organizing an economy. And each one of us here has a role to play, whether you're a creative, a leader, a partner, an institution, you're part of the transformation. Over the next 1 hour, our expectations is not just that you will be inspired, but that you will leave here informed, equipped, and ready to take action. Because this is not just about listening, it's about taking your place within the structure we are building. And I would like to take a moment to appreciate all our speakers in advance and leaders who have joined us today. Your voice, your contribution are critical to shaping the direction of this sector. With that, I officially welcome you and I declare the IEDF Creative Sector Conference 2026, the first one, open. Thank you very much. And with that, leaders, I'm going to go directly into the program. I know we've taken a lot of time, and I'm going to invite Leader Bridget Chibwe to talk to us a bit about Zambia, what's happening in Zambia. And also she's our Secretary General in the Creative Economy Africa sector. She's been instrumental. I actually found her in IEDF, and she's really one of the people who oriented me. So thank you, Leader Bridget, and welcome. I'll give you 5 minutes to take us through, first of all, from the Africa perspective, the requirements for somebody to join IEDF creative sector, and then take us to Zambia and tell us about the developments that are happening there. Welcome, Leader Bridget.
Thank you so very much. Hello?
Hi, Leader Bridget. There seems to be an echo on your side. Are you joining on 2 devices?
Just on one.
Okay. Let me see. Mute one device, Leader Bridget. Mute. Just press the speaker on top right of your app so that you don't hear yourself, the echo, please. Okay, as we wait for Leader Bridget to fix her mic, maybe I'll be going to Leader Donatus. I know he was traveling. He's supposed to be going somewhere today. Leader Donatus, maybe you can quickly come in. I want you to talk to us about the way you are able to look at sustainability and partnerships within the creative economy sector in Cameroon. Welcome, Leader Donatus. Leader Donatus, are you ready? From Cameroon?
Am I okay?
Oh yeah, you're okay, you're okay. Okay, then let's go to Leader Bridget first. Okay,
Thank
Leader
you so
Bridget, you
much.
can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, my leader, and thank you everybody for joining in, and we appreciate you greatly, especially the new executives in the various countries. I welcome our leaders from Namibia, our leader from Cameroon. Professor, we're happy to have you. And of course, my CDC, those that have managed to join from Zambia. Thank you so very much. Indeed, let me give a brief background by 5 minutes before it runs out, how I joined IEDF. I joined the IEDF through a connection on a continental body of the creatives, and they introduced me to this wonderful platform called IEDF, Informal Economy Development Forum. I was informed that the IDF is a place where you are able to connect. It's a platform which connects creatives or people from different informal sectors. I had the privilege of joining the global conference in South Africa last October, and it was such a privilege and a good platform where we networked with people from different informal sectors, agriculture, tourism, farming, and everything. And this is where I was with our leaders. I was able to meet Leader Rachel, very bright, vibrant young lady. And to join the IDF, what you were told that it is good that you've got passion to come into the sector. But the IDF has got two pillars. One of them is to eradicate poverty. The mission of the IDF is whatever you do, whatever projects we're doing, it's not just out of doing them, but at the end of the day, we must be able to eradicate poverty. The second one is that the IDF is aimed at creating leaders. We believe that without leadership, you cannot be able to fulfill any call that you have. You must have or be trained. So to create those leaders, there is a training that happens in the IDF, which are master classes. So every leader, including all the executives that are here that are coming from different countries, you are supposed to be led through these master classes. And the master classes will give you a lot of clarity about what the IDF stands for, the Vision 2030, and everything, so that you're able to execute perfectly in your country. Now, most of people come into certain platforms because they want connection to funders. They want connection to be able to do projects. Connections to do that are here in the IDF, and it only takes you to network with your fellow executives, to network with people in other countries. That is what the IDF is all about. So if you are here, you want to know, be assured that we'll take you through the master classes that are going to make you a perfect leader, or there's not perfect, but a good leader that is able to execute. And quickly coming to what we are doing in Zambia, or when I came back to Zambia, what did I do under IDF? When I came back to Zambia, I learned that we need to be able to collaborate. The IDF does not encourage working in silos. You need to partner. You need to, it's value for value. I must see how can I help Leader Rachel achieve what she's doing in the creative sector? How can Leader Vixen help me achieve what I'm doing in my space as a creative? So when I got back home, I partnered with a gentleman who's a creative called Mark Mwanamwale, who came to me and said they have this platform that they are doing, and this platform is a center where the creatives, the producers can be able to meet, and the actors. So usually in Africa, or particularly in Zambia, producers have to get to know who the actors for them to be able to feature them in the films. But you see, film is business. Every value chain, every part of the value chain is business. So you need to have a database. For example, if we have a team that is coming from Kenya and want to film in Zambia, they're coming, they don't know where exactly and what to do in Zambia. So through this platform, we will welcome them, we'll be able to show them the locations, we'll be able to show them our A-list actors, we'll be able to show them wherever they want to go and the equipment they can be able to buy. So I thought this was a very good initiative under IDF because it's about bringing people together. And whilst I was here, I bumped into one of our very vibrant ladies in Zambia. Her name is Becky Ngoma. Becky Ngoma is heading what we're calling, or is called, Women in Film and Television. It is an international organization that she has been able to domesticate it here in Zambia to make sure that the female folk of creatives in Zambia are well catered for, they're supported in whatever they are doing. So she's one of my executives in my CDC here in Zambia, and she's under business development, and that is what she knows to do best. She'll come and elaborate further as we go. In talking about different aspects of creative in Zambia, we also have theater. Theater came earlier in Zambia before film. So you find that most of the filmmakers, those that are coming from the theater background, are very good at their skill. And we have one of the gentlemen here who does theater for development, Hamalala, who has been working with few theater practitioners around the region. He recently came from Malawi. If given an opportunity, he can be able to explain and how they are bringing the region together and be able to use theater to speak for the voiceless, use theater to speak for the young people, use theater to be able to send messages that unite, that bring development to Zambia. So these are some of the, among the many things that we are doing here in Zambia. And I'm hoping that Becky will be able to come and talk about the Africa Creative Market that we have through her organization. We have partnered here in Zambia. We're having a very big business summit in June where the Africa Creative Market is hosting us and assisting the Zambian creative to begin to think that we are no longer using creative or film as a social thing. It is now business. People's mindset must be able to change. So these are some of the things that we are doing here in Zambia. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Leader Bridget. Can I see some appreciation for Leader Bridget and the wonderful work that they're doing in Zambia? And as I said, fellow leaders, it's important for us to have this conference because we're able to learn of the great work that's happening across the creative sector in Africa. Thank you very much, Leader Bridget. I'm going to now invite Leader Donatus from Cameroon to tell us about the projects that they're doing in Cameroon and also speak a bit to the sustainability of the creative economy sector. Leader Donatus, you're welcome.
Thank you again, Rachel, for this opportunity. Again, I want to be very frank about my excitement to be part of this conference. At some point, I'd lost hope because there appeared to have been some kind of confusion. And thank goodness, things are back on track. And I'm excited to be here. A lot of very interesting things have been said, beginning with you, Rachel, when you talked about your experience in Kenya and how you have set up the CDCs and they're doing very well. Then listen to a leader from Namibia who has just exploded my heart, especially the idea about the theater practitioner. You know, my background is into theater. My background is theater, and then I am today the director of cinema. So, but I keep my very close attachment to theater. Now, back to what we have been doing so far. Recently, like I told you, I succeeded in harvesting a huge amount of money for investments in the creative, and specifically, we're working on a cine lab, this kind of setting where we're selecting young people and we go into some kind of we're setting them on for a couple of months to walk them from idea to the script and then to the film. This is our way to bring young people and then look for professionals that will coach them throughout the process. Apart from this, part of the funding that we secured is to be used to develop the cinema code in Cameroon. You know, the code is different from the laws. We are actually in the process of reviewing the laws, and we're also trying to get a cinema code that defines the limits, the do's and don'ts in cinema, and of course, also highlighting the value chain, what people need the different traits in cinema and how they need to be valued in terms of standard, in terms of international standards. The challenge I have had so far with setting up the CDCs is, like I told you, I shared this with you privately, Rachel, because I know it doesn't suffice to set up the CDCs. We need to equip them, and thank goodness I benefited a little bit from your explanation, how you have set up the CDC that's working in Kenya, where you identify the different traits and the different domains, and then you have different coordinators who are piloting like the literary domain, then in the cinema, in the different, and this is exactly what I need. But there is a lot more that I would be requiring, because when we have created the CDCs, which in Cameroon is still not yet really set up. I'm sure after this we're going to go with the speed of light, given the new impetus I've just received and what is going on now. We're going to set up the CDCs in Cameroon, but I really would want to know how we can enable each CDC, the moment they are set up, their operational model. And I benefited a little bit from your presentation. when you talked about the different sectors that are being headed by different individuals. My idea is we need to set them on a mission, and then we need to find a methodology of approach, how they will deploy themselves to the terrain and how they can make a difference. Because the major problem we have with the creative is, like you said at the beginning, is badly structured. I mean, there is very weak legislative structures to accommodate them, and then we don't even need to talk about the finances because they are not there. But the moment it is organized, but the moment the domain is better organized, there is a lot that can happen. And thank goodness you said we are moving from potentials to production. So this is what we are looking up to doing. And I must tell you, I have an appointment with the Swiss embassy that is also interested in coming on board, and I need to be defining from what angle they come in and how we need to make it sustainable. And now, to answer your question on sustainability, we're trying to make sure that the CDCs or the structures we put in place and the young people who come on board, they have tracks of I would say projects that they will be doing, and at every point we'll come back to evaluate the effectiveness of their projects and we'll see how they can begin to fly on their own wings. Because the idea is, the moment we identify specific young people in different domains of the creative, we need to accompany them in a way that they can be able to expand and deepen their experiences, get many people on board, and begin to sustainably live from what they're doing. What this means is we need to put in place preliminary structures that would accommodate the enthusiasm they have, at the same time showing them the way forward, such that the project, once it begins, is not going to die again. So these are the things I intend to try to see. I was hoping to have this kind of conversation with you, and so we set in place, because the handbook you shared on how to set up CDCs is quite elaborate, it's quite complete, but then after the CDCs have been created, we need to give them a model how to operate, how to operationalize their action on the floor, on the field. And this is where there is a little challenge. In Cameroon, we have 10 regions. 10 regions, it means that structurally speaking, we already have the administrative units that could be able to accommodate the different things we plan to do. And it may be very helpful if we already can put in place the operational model that would enable the CDCs to operate, and practically speaking, what they need to do to deploy themselves and then be able to measure the impact they're doing. At this level, I am doing it from a general perspective, from the global perspective, where I have secured funding and I'm selecting young people here and there with the assistance of the country office of UNESCO, and we are deploying 20. Presently, we are doing a call to select 20 young people that will be part of this enterprise. And our hope is that the moment the 20 young people have been selected and brought together in a training program, with time they would develop their potentials from idea to script, and then finally to the concrete film that they would have produced. And that has to be the jump starting point of their career in the creative. That's how we are prefiguring it. This is how we are planning it. And then the idea of having a cinema code is to make sure we have one thing that shapes, you know, the conditions under which people should work, and then the red lines no one should ever cross. Of course, you know, we have our cultural and I would say our cultural limits, our cultural worldviews that will not be accommodative to certain practices that are not in line with our perceptions of things. And I think every African country also has this. And there are certain practices that happen in Europe and in America that we cannot accommodate in some countries in Africa, including Cameroon. So that's the reason we're putting in place a cinema code. That's the reason we want to identify young people and bring them right across to ensure that once they get into the domain, they know the red lines you don't cross, they don't know the domains you don't address in cinema, but we are fairly open in how to reach out to communities, and then to enable young people develop their full potentials and begin to sustainably make a living from what they can do in the creative.
Thank you very much for that elaborate presentation, Leader Donatus. Indeed, your work that you're doing in Cameroon is very inspiring. I like the fact that you spoke into the sustainability issue. We need to equip our leaders to be able to perform better on the front line, and we are going to take that challenge as we move forward. And also, I think we're going to have more meetings like this. They're very interesting so that we can figure out the issue of sustainability and ensure
Yes.
that our leaders are actually equipped to succeed, as the Leadership Masterclass clearly outlines. Thank you very much, Leader Don Trust. So now I'm going to invite our newest country head, Ayitso Wendy, who's the country head for Kenya. Kindly, Leader Ayitso, welcome and tell us what's happening in Kenya, and also speak a bit about the solutions that you have personally pioneered for women in Kenya. Just a bit, 5 minutes, because I know we're running out of time. And before that, leaders, I know IEDF is a disciplined organization, and I can see we have 10 minutes. I would like to request, by a show of hand, how many people would support that we extend this meeting with at least 10 to 15 minutes? Just as a part of democracy. Thank you, leaders. Thank you, leaders. So that we can get to hear from everyone. Thank you very much. So Leader Ayito and the other leaders I'm going to call, kindly please keep time so that we move forward. Over to you, Leader Ayito.
Thank you so much, Leader Rachel. I'm really privileged and honored to be speaking to all of you here. Once again, I respect the leadership here. So I know the president and the global president and the vice president are here. So I would like to say thank you so much for even making time to be in this platform. Thank you so much. And all the other leaders who've also made time, thank you so much. So as you've heard, my name is Ayito Sarah Wendy, and I am the new sector head. I'm still trying to catch up in Kenya. Apart from that, I am also the founder and the president of the female filmmakers here in Kenya. So why the female filmmakers? Because I feel like when it comes to the female filmmakers, there are a couple of things that they still have not gotten a chance to play in a level field when it comes to the creative industry. So for the female filmmakers, what we are doing, we are trying to create a level field where female filmmakers here in Kenya can also access probably funding, can access a couple of other things that opportunities that also the men in the industry are doing. But I will not talk about female filmmakers mostly right now. I will talk about IEDF. For IEDF, my mission is beyond film. It's actually looking at the entire creative ecosystem, the film industry, the fashion, music, digital arts. And now the thing is, or rather one of the main asks is how best can we transform the creative industry and sustain it? So one of the biggest aims for IEDF, even when I'm heading it, is finding a better way to sustain the ecosystem, for it not just to be an informal sector, but to even be able to turn it to a formal sector where we know the creative industry is actually growing. So the question exactly is, why are we here today, and why create the Creative Summit? The Creative Summit is not just an event. First of all, it's a very strategic platform. It will bring together creators, it will bring together policymakers, investors, and industry leaders who will be able to have conversations about growth, about structure, about opportunities in the creative industry, you know. And for far too long, our the creative sector, not just in Kenya, but overall have never gotten this opportunity where we bring everyone in one space. So we are creating a space where creatives can connect to funding, understand policy, build partnerships, and most importantly, see themselves as entrepreneurs, because that's where the problem is. We are so much informal that we forget that also that creative is a business. So we want to build them to become entrepreneurs and industry builders. So we are implementing what we are calling the CITASA model, which is create, train, access, and sustain. So right now, what we will be doing for the summit is actually giving them access to policymakers, giving them access to funders, giving them access to even other creatives who have done well, who have done better in other countries, you know. So because talent alone is not everything, we need to be holistic. So apart from that, we will also have the Creative Biz Awards 2026. These awards are very, very intentional. They're not just about recognition, they're about validation, and they're about visibility. That means in Africa, we have like very, very extraordinary talents. So, and also organizations that support these talents. So we need them to know, and we need to validate them, that we see the work they're doing, we appreciate and we honor the work they're doing. Thank you so much, Leader Rachel.
Thank you very much. And leaders, you're welcome to join the Creative Kenya Summit Expo and Awards. And thank you, Leader Ayitso, for that elaborate presentation and the great work you're doing also in the creative economy sector. We appreciate that. Now I'm going to invite Leader Vixen from Namibia, our country head in Namibia, to also present to us what's happening in Namibia and talk to us a bit, borrowing from his experience in the creative economy sector, where he's also had the opportunity to work as a director of the Namibian Film Commission. And so he's been working very high level at the policy level and at the governance level of the creative economy space. Welcome, Leader Vixen. Is Leader Vixen here? Leader Vixen? Oh yeah, I think we lost Leader Vixen a bit. So I think when we find him, when he comes back, we are going to give him a chance to say something. Thank you very much. Are you enjoying the conference, leaders? If you're enjoying the conference, show me some emojis.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm enjoying every bit of it. Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. And you know, you just all came with positive energy. Leader Vixen is back. Let's give it up for Leader Vixen. Leader Vixen, I had just introduced you and I wanted to invite you to tell us, borrowing from your experience in Namibia and what you've been able to do, even serving on different levels at the leadership of the creative economy sector. Talk to us about that and tell us also about what's happening in Namibia. Very much welcome, Leader Vixen.
Thank you so much. And first of all, let me recognize the presence of our global president and the deputy global president. It is an honor to be in your presence. And also, let me stand on the protocol as established. As was mentioned, my name is Vixen Hangula. I am a filmmaker and I've been doing films for quite some time. I also started with a theater. I was a theater actor and also a playwright, award-winning, before I translated to filmmaking. I'm very much passionate about it, and why I'm also here and excited is because finally we have a platform where we can then really network with fellow Africans. Namibia has been in the background for some time. We are all known for our small population, and also when you talk about the Netflixes and everybody, like, you know, our numbers do not make economical sense to get that investment. but we are also there now getting, especially after our president, Her Excellency Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, came on the scene and then made what the creative economy or creative sector as one of the priority areas. So we are sitting quite with a big potential. The economy, the creative sector is really being taken or starting to be taken seriously. For the first time in the history, we got also some substantial investment from the government to show the seriousness into this sector. And it's something that everybody is looking forward to. My personal dream is to see like all those filmmakers, all those upcoming filmmakers and other creatives, not only filmmakers across the board, whether it is theater, dancers, musicians, crafts people, and so on, to finally get an opportunity wherever they are in the regions or in the villages. A lot of talent was out there that did not know what to do with their talent. But now, right now, it's an opportunity. And that's why I love very much what I hear, especially in Cameroon, where, you know, my brother Donatus was talking about. And that is something that I really can just rejoice when I hear that being mentioned. Also, very much, I admire what is being done in Kenya, and I'm really looking forward to be there next week. And learn. I promise myself that when I come there, what I will do most is learn, observe, learn, and learn more, because that's where I want our country to get in there. I have since identified a group of fellow creatives that I know are very passionate across the creatives and the sectors and the sector and subsectors in that. And I'm really hoping to put on together a group of more people that will help us doing that. I've been also very much involved in the leadership, having served as a commissioner of the Namibia Film Commission for 7 years around there, and also 3 times being on the board of the Namibia Filmmakers Association of Namibia. And also before that, having been quite a busy theater and playwright in the country. So I believe this is finally an opportunity that we will start to be networking and associating with our fellow creatives across the breadth and the length of Africa. Leader Rachel, if there's something that I may have spoken about or forgotten to mention in my excitement, please, each and everybody also pardon me. We'll be happy to speak about something else also.
Thank you very much, Leader Vixen. Let's appreciate Leader Vixen for that also elaborate presentation of what is happening in Namibia. We are happy for you being able to mobilize the government of Namibia to put more funding on the creative economy sector. And just to note that we have 2 leaders here who have been at the helm of the Film Commission in their countries and are still serving. Also, Leader Donatus is also a director of the Kenya Film of the Cameroon Commission, and it's an honor to have leaders who are also able to influence also at the policy level, and we really do appreciate that. And now I'm going to invite 2 wonderful creatives to talk to us. One creative is from Zambia, one creative is from Kenya, and I'm going to start with Becky Ngoma, Business Development, Head of Business Development in the Zambia CDC, to tell us a bit about what she's doing. Welcome, Becky, and please try to keep time, and then we'll go to the next leader. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Lovely to meet everyone. And I say it's a beautiful time to be alive in Africa and to see Africa synergizing like this in the creative sector. It's an amazing time. So what we're doing in Zambia, my name is Becky Ngoma. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a filmmaker, and I'm also the president for the Women in Film and Television Zambia, which is actually a global organization, and I'm heading the Zambian chapter. And as Women in Film and Television, Africa and global, one of the key areas that we look at is empowering women financially within the film sector. And so one of the things that we are working on currently, one of the biggest things that we have going on is that we have a conference, the Women in Film and Television Conference, which will be hosted in Zambia, Lusaka in June. In Wasisa, end of June. It starts on the 29th and it runs all the way up to the 4th. And one of the key things that we're looking at is the synergizing of technology, culture, and the creative economy. So one of the things we have noticed in Africa is that we can't think business without thinking technology, because technology always changes the model in which business happens. And Africa has always been, when it comes to adapting to technology, we've always been left behind, like we are 4 or 5 steps behind. So it is actually now that we're actually taking this deliberately, that we have to be in tandem with technological development so that we take advantage of everything that is going on, so that when it comes to remodeling and taking advantage in the business of the creative sector, we are actually ahead and on the same page with the world as it moves. So that's one of the key things that we're looking at within the Women in Film and Television conference this year. And as Women in Film and Television Zambia, one of the things that we're looking at is in Zambia, personally, I can speak for myself, like we have one key player within the industry, which sort of makes it easy for monopoly to play out. And so one of the things that we have noticed in our research as Women in Film and Television is to realize that 90% of production is in the hands of men in Zambia. And the 10% women that are represented within the film economy is that these are the people who have the lowest budgets in production, as opposed to their male counterparts. So one of the things that we have come to realize is also sometimes opportunities are created, but as women, we are not bold enough to take the step to push ourselves ahead. So one of the things we have done is we have partnered with another organization called WEAC, Women Entrepreneurship. They look at women entrepreneurship. And one of the things that we're going to be doing is facilitating workshops, different workshops and different trainings within the film sector to adapt women to know how to make money, to manage money, and to multiply money. So basically, that's where we are. And thank you. And it's lovely to be part of this movement.
Thank you very much, leader, for the wonderful work you're doing for the women in Zambia. And it's true, it's an evidence today that the creatives are creating their own solutions to their own problems. And Africa is no longer accepting to be part of the menu, but sitting on the table to make the menu. And that's very important. And I'm very happy about that. And thank you very much, leader. And now I'm going to invite leader Solomon Omboto from Kenya, who is doing something within the music space that will change the music space and talent space in Kenya. Welcome, leader Solomon, to tell us what you're working on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leader Rachel, and all the leaders present. I also want to recognize the global president and the deputy. First of all, I'm so much happy and so much impressed under the leadership of Rachel here in Kenya. We were able to make IEDF Kenya to be possible, and I can't wait to see that happening. And we are so excited to host it here, right here in Kenya, and all the support is guaranteed. We are at your service. Um, I will say that they call me myogenic, but my names are Solomon Umboto. I wear two hats tonight, but they are made from the same cloth. First, I'm a CEO of the Myogenic Excellent Music Award, MEMA. We are born from a simple question: why do we clap for artists on stage, then watch them suffer on stage? MEMA exists so that an award isn't the end of the journey, it is the beginning of ownership. Through our music circle that we are creating and our healthcare plans and a vote driven recognition by the fan base, we make sure that talent becomes wealth and wealth becomes legacy. Second, I serve as a vice chair of the IEDF creative economy in Kenya. There, our question is bigger. What if Kenya treated creative economy like coffee, tea, or tourism as a GDP? At IDF, we fight for policy, funding, and infrastructure so that the kid recording in Kayore, Kenya, has the same legal and financial tools as the kid in New York City. So why do I do both? Because one without the other, I feel it will fail. MEMA without IDF means we thrown beautiful award show while the artists still borrow for hospital bills and sign bad contracts. We don't want to celebrate poverty anymore. IDF without MEMA means we write perfect policies in boardrooms while the culture itself starves for recognition and dignity, and we build systems, not souls. Together, here is what we believe. Recognition must come with protection. A MEMA trophy should unlock circle credit, not just selfies, and IDF must ensure that credit is backed by corporate laws that works. Funds are investors, not just followers. That's what we believe in MEMA. Our awards are vote driven because the people should decide who rises. Our policies must make it easy for the same fund to buy shares, not just streams. Healthcare is not a luxury for artists. It's a singer's voice. If a singer's voice is a factory, a drama's wrist is his farm. If we don't protect the creator, we have no creative economy. In Africa's next export is not raw materials, it's ownership. We don't just want our music on a global charts. We want our labels, our publishing, our catalogs owned here, from Kayore to Kinshasa to Kampala to New York. So tonight, I'm not asking you to support MEMA or IDF. I'm asking you to support the bridge between them. To the corporates, sponsors, and catalog at MEMA and sit on an IDF policy roundtable, don't just brand and stage, help build the stadium. To government, zero-rate studios equipped because of IDF data and present the trophy for the best producer at MEMA. So artists, you see them in law and in rights. To the artists, we urge them to register with the MEMA circle. You record before you record the hit. Join the voter base before you ask for votes. We can only fight for you if you are in the system. My promise in 5 years, I don't want your kids to say my parents was famous musician. I want them to say my parent owned music and now I can inherit it. That's when we oppose become equity. That's when culture becomes capital. And that's when Africa stops exporting talent and starts exporting ownership. MEMA will hand you the mic. IDF will make sure you own the stage. Let's build both. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Leader Solomon. You can see truly we have amazing leaders in Africa's creative economy, and we have what it takes to take Africa creative economy to the next level. Again, thank you very much, leaders, for your time today. It's been amazing. If you've been blessed being part of this conference, kindly give us an emoji of love. Let's have some love in this place. If you've really enjoyed, if you think this is a great idea to meet as creatives and be able to actually exchange and learn what other creatives are doing so that we can improve on ourselves. Thank you very much for the love, and thank you very much to all the panelists who have spoken today. As we close, good evening, leaders, once again. As we come to the close of today's conference, I want us to take a moment, not to just end, but reflect on what this moment truly represents. Today has not been a session, it has been a gathering of vision, a meeting of minds, and a beginning of alignment. May I see by a show of hands who is feeling aligned to the vision of IEDF Creative Economy Sector? If you're feeling aligned and you feel that we're in the right place, thank you. We started today with a clear intention to move from global alignment to sector execution. And throughout this conference, we've taken meaningful steps in that direction. We have shared a clear vision for the creative economy, examined the realities and challenges within our sector, heard directly from creatives navigating this space, and identified practical pathways towards structure, collaboration, and growth. But more importantly, we have established something deeper. We have established clarity that the creative sector is not a side conversation, clarity that it is not just a talent or expression, but that the creative sector economy is economy. It is identity and it is opportunity. And if properly structured, it has the power to transform lives, create jobs, and contribute meaningfully to Africa's development. We have also seen that this is not just an idea. It's already happening across Kenya, Cameroon, Zambia, Namibia, and expanding into Rwanda, Tanzania, and Uganda. We are building structures that are organizing creatives, connecting them to opportunities, and positioning them for sustainable growth. Through platforms, partnerships, and programs, we are beginning to move from informality to structure, isolation to collaboration, survival to sustainability. And that is the direction we must continue. Let us also remain grounded in the bigger picture. This work is anchored in the IEDF Vision 2030 and specifically in Goal 8 to empower 100 creatives across Africa and globally. And this goal is not abstract. It represents real people, real business, real livelihoods. It represents a future where creatives are not struggling to survive, but are building sustainable enterprises and contributing to the economy. But for us to achieve this, we must make a clear shift. We must move from working individually to building collectively. That's very important. I don't know whether anybody has gotten that we cannot build the creative economy sector if we are working individually. We must move from working individually, and that has been one of our biggest things, challenges that we've been facing. So we must move from working individually to building collectively, from informal practice to structured systems, from waiting for opportunity to creating opportunities, because the future of the creative economy will not be built by chance. It will be built through structure, collaboration, leadership, and consistent action. Please underline consistent action. And I want to leave you with the principle that defines everything we are doing. We are not hosting events. We are building structures. We are not gathering creatives. We are organizing an economy. And now, as we close, the responsibility does not end here. In fact, this is where it begins. I invite each one of you to take action. Join and engage with IEDF creative economy structures in your country. Collaborate with others across sectors and borders. Identify your role within this movement. And most importantly, step into leadership where you are. Because this movement will not grow through intention alone. It will grow through participation, commitment, and execution. I would like to take this moment to sincerely appreciate our speakers and panelists, our global president and our deputy global president, and all the Vision 2030 leaders for taking time to be here today. In this room today, we have leaders from across different sectors, including agriculture, festivals, and other sectors of IEDF. Our partners, our collaborators, we thank you for your support. And each and every one of you for showing up, engaging, contributing to this space. Just attendance. This is not just about attendance, it's a commitment to the future of Africa's creative economy. As you leave this conference, do not live with inspiration alone. Live with clarity, direction, and a decision to act, because the future we are talking about will only be built by those who take responsibility for it. And we believe that the future starts with us. With that, I would like to thank you all once again for being part of IEDF Creative Sector Conference 2026. And we're going to have more conferences coming up. We look forward to building this movement together. Thank you and have a very, very wonderful night, leaders. Thank you very much.